start off and just be like, "Hey, I'm so and so," and then
Oh yeah, sure,
set me up for an intro, so that way it's not just
sure.
two random people talking.
Well, that's I mean, that's the problem with making a first ever podcast. You have no idea how to intro it. Okay, I'm Kyle Ritter, the freaking white man that plays the white painted Merc. Okay, sounds awful. And we got a jchammer, coach for Nefarious
Defiance. Well,
Defiance.
we're Audacity now, but if you want to look us up on Liquipedia, we're Defiance because
Okay, okay, coach for
Liquipedia is slow to
Defiance.
update. Yeah. So we're
Was that the
currently
team
rated.
with Comp?
No. So we're currently rated 30th in NA and like 92nd in
Mhm.
the world according to Liquipedia.
Yeah,
Uh, Granted, it's Liquipedia, so it's not necessarily 100% accurate,
yeah,
but
for sure.
if you know why, you know why.
Nah, no, yeah. So he came into my stream talking about a specific problem, which was basically that with the do you want to explain the problem, should I just freaking go like very loose and then you go into it more?
I will let you set up because you need practice introducing and having good conversations.
All right. I am going to say that he explained a problem on my Twitch stream, which was essentially, uh, it was essentially this is great. I should never live stream this. Should have literally edited all this. I probably will for the YouTube
There's
video.
there's post production.
Yeah, exactly. There's gonna be some freaking post for
This is
this.
gonna be in the blooper reel at the very end for those really dedicated people.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. So basically came into my Twitch stream with a problem of essentially that platinum diamond champion is completely broken as a rank, which thus makes grand champ broken and everything else higher broken because they're so broken, essentially.
Yeah. If you go on the RL Tracker website, there are more people in SSL than there are in Silver 2 and below.
Mm.
So, like, the entry level ranks practically do not exist.
Mm.
So, when Rocket League went free to play, they changed it to where everybody's base MMR when you start out is 600. And that's a problem because this is not a game with other transferable skills. So you would get people like me who were playing off and on for 4 or 5 years, getting paired up with people who are literally just installing the game and forcing them to be teammates.
Mm.
And so you would either have to carry those people and rank up, and then when you carry those people, they think that they're good because, oh, I'm in plat. I just skipped the first 3 ranks of the game. I'm good at this game. When in actuality, they're not. So you get that false ego and that false feedback from them being in these higher ranks. And then when that's inflated, it holds higher players down as well. But it also makes it very easy to boost people as well. So there's a lot of nuances related to that, but that's kind of the core of the problem is that the MMR system is starting people out way too high. And then also the MMR system does a very poor job of sorting players because they're starting everybody out at such a high rank and basically not utilizing the bottom 3 ranks at all.
Yeah, because I imagine if you're what do you get placed in like plat 1, right?
Yeah, you start in gold 3. If you go 50-50 on your games, you'll, depending on where you won and lost them, you'll typically end up anywhere between plat 1 and plat 3.
Mm-hmm. So, like, what's it called? I imagine you can just, if you get a really good teammate or something, you could probably wind up winning your platinum matches, especially because it's with
Mhm.
other players that have started out the game
Yeah.
like around your skill level anyway. But then if there's somebody that's held back by all that, he's probably gonna
Mhm.
get you through your first couple, which means you could realistically start out in plat 2.
Yeah, so if you go, Waiton did a video on this. where he literally went and played with a MIDI keyboard, so
Mhm.
like a musical instrument keyboard, and he just set it up to have Rocket League inputs. And so he spent like I think 5 or 10 hours just like getting some basics down, and then he went and did his placement games, and he lost one game and ended up in Diamond 2 or Diamond 1,
Mhm.
like somewhere around there. So if you get lucky, you're getting put in the top 20% of the player base, or you just finish your placements and have a team with you. You're going to be put at way above your skill level. And then when you solo queue, you ruin the game for the rest of the people.
Mhm. What's it called? Do you think any of that has to do with? I guess they don't count that. See, I was thinking they counted every single player that's been unranked for seasons and seasons, but it seems like they don't. I was about to say, I wondered if like 30% of this was just unranked people. Honestly, kind of figured.
No,
But,
because RL Tracker, if you are unranked, it still lists you as unranked.
mhm. Wait, so you're saying
At
like,
least with the available data they have.
oh, gotcha. So what would it have to be in the last like 2, 3 seasons?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine then. So what's the fix? I mean, obviously, like we talked about the fix, but like, yeah, what would you say the fix is?
So I think two things need to happen. Uh, One, the way MMR is distributed, at least for, I would say, champ 1 and below, maybe, uh, is there needs to be something that stops you from ranking up for just winning games. Something like a skill check. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so my idea for this is, let's say you start out in bronze, and you rank up into bronze 2. So you get the MMR necessary to do that, and then it prompts you and it says, hey, for you to rank up into bronze 2, you need to be able to hit these 10 open nets
Mm-hmm.
that are literally just like ball rolling or ball sitting still and just driving. Uh,
Yeah.
and then to rank up from bronze 2 to bronze 3, you have to make the most basic of saves, like maybe a single jump save, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and then just slowly progress these up. So that way, yes, you can be winning games, but you're not getting put above what you should be able to do, at least on a somewhat consistent basis.
Hmm.
And then also, it'll help with skill progression and giving people a path in the game. So I think that's one way to help prevent people from being carried. But I think the other thing that could be done is making the scoreboard more accurate, uh, as far as like you being like a team player, if that makes
Mm-hmm.
sense. I think at the lower levels, you could kind of track positioning relatively simply. And basically, if you're familiar with the 9 square method for teaching twos, basically something similar to that, where it's like the ball is in this corner, and so this person should be playing first man. This
Yep.
person should be spaced back in this square, and this other person should be spaced back in this other square. And you're rewarded points on the back end just for good positioning. So that way you don't have a 6-man scrum uh, in the corner like for the entire game, which
Mm-hmm.
you can pull up just about any gold replay, and typically you'll see either that happen or you'll see one person just sitting outside the scrum waiting for the ball to pop out and try and do something with it.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Um.
something like that that'll encourage teammates and actually reward competency in seeing how good of an actual player you are when it comes to playing Rocket League,
Yeah.
at least at a basic level.
Yeah. So what's it called? Do you think the skill check would be every single rank, or like when does it stop? Like champ 1, champ 3?
Uh, I
Axel, don't say that about
I
our
would say
guest. What the freaky crap are you doing? It's my cousin, by the way.
it's all good.
This is our
But
guest, man. What the heck is that? Come
No,
on,
okay,
Axel.
go ahead.
You don't even like Big Morale and or Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. You can't come in here with this, man. This is stupid. What's up? What's up?
Oh, yeah. So I was just saying, I think it depends on how well we actually start to sort people. I think probably in maybe champ would be where it stops, maybe grand champ.
Hmm.
Uh, it just depends on how well we actually nerf everybody's rank to where they actually
Oh,
should
so
be.
yeah, it'd probably require a hard reset.
Yeah, but I think if you do a hard reset now, without changing the system to let me finish my point about the scoreboard. So if we make the scoreboard more accurate, then the amount of points you get could determine what percentage of the MMR you win or lose. So, like, let's say you're really ball chasing and you're just constantly bumping your teammates off the ball and stuff. You would lose points for bad positioning
Hmm.
and cutting your teammates off. So that way, oh, you won the game, but because you were a bad teammate and you don't have a good score because of that, you're either not gaining any MMR from that win or you're only gaining 1 or 2 MMR for that win. Or if you are a good teammate and you lose, you only lose 2 or 3 MMR. So for you to gain the most amount of MMR, you have to play as a good teammate and win the game.
Hmm.
But also, if you are a good teammate and you lose the game because you have a teammate throwing, they lose more MMR and you lose less MMR.
Yeah. One thing that I'll say that would be a problem for is I think you can do this in ones. That would be fine. You could just switch
Mhm.
that over into ones. But one thing that I always say is that the people like AJ, like Forky, people that are really good at the video game,
Mhm.
they always got there. They've always gotten to be as good as they are because they don't care about things that we're talking about. Like they don't care about
Mhm.
positioning. Like when they were coming up, when they were getting really good, like they were focused on like as how fast can they go for it, how many flip resets can they get, things like that. And
But
while it
also when
doesn't
they're
work,
yeah.
it doesn't
Also
work
when they're
short term. Yeah, go on. Yeah.
I would say the reason that worked for them is nobody had an idea of how to play the game when they were coming up.
Oh no,
It was all
they
about
sucked.
mechanics.
No, but
Yeah,
the
it
problem is
was
those guys sucked back then. Okay, I
mhm.
destroyed them. They were bad
Yeah.
because they were doing things like that.
Mhm.
And what I'm getting at is that like that works long term. That's how you get
Mhm.
those mechanics is a lot of freaking time spent doing things
Yeah.
like that. But it doesn't work short term. So like hurting them, short term, it would be fine, I guess, because eventually they would figure it out. Eventually they would
Mhm.
break down their mechanics and then they would skyrocket ranks, I guess. But just like yeah, hurt that. It would hurt the incentive to do something like that, which I do think there is incentive for. I know it sucks, but I think there is actually a lot of incentive to play like that. Um, like whenever you start out, because like you're gonna need that stuff when you get into SSL to become a pro player. Because the truth is, if
Well,
you don't
here's
play like that,
yeah.
yeah.
So this is aimed for more of the casual, not trying to go pro player base. This is a specifically like what should be champ and below issue.
Mhm.
I'm not trying to address the top percent
No, but I'm saying you're gonna
of the
hurt
player
those
base.
people. You're gonna hurt the future with that though, because there's always gonna be a future. Like the free
Oh
to
yeah.
play kids, like they're gonna be pro one day or something. So like I
Hmm.
feel like you're hurting the future of RL. And I understand, you talk about mechanics all day. The truth is, like or you can talk about positioning all day, but the truth is, like with a lot of really good mechanics and things like that,
Hmm.
like it helps your improv. As in when something
Oh
goes
yeah.
wrong, which it always will, like you can get back to a play quicker, having faster mechanics, which will always be an integral part. And I
Yeah.
really think
But
that. Hmm.
you won't need those mechanics until you hit like that champ level where this system would stop being used and it would go back to just the straight win loss
Hmm.
ratio. Because at that point the game's too fast for an AI type system like this to accurately calculate teamwork. But also, if you're instilling this basic rotations into people, by the time they get there, you've developed from the start good teamwork habits. So when you're getting up into those ranks where you need those mechanics, you've already been skill checked on like the bare basics of, okay, you can hit an aerial, you can do a basic save, you can jump off the wall and hit the ball and get in the net. Like really just those fundamental things is what would be those skill checks. And then once you get champ, that's when all of this opens up, if
Yeah.
that makes sense.
No,
So this
I
is
think
about developing a solid fundamentals, like bare basics fundamentals, not pro play, if that makes sense.
yeah. But I will say, you know, habits die hard, and the truth is,
Hmm.
like, if you start out like that, you're probably not gonna change. As in, just like me, like I started
Hmm.
out the game, like the very first couple of hours, I was like, yeah, aerialing's too hard. I'm going to play on the ground essentially, like
Hmm.
only, and thus like because I was playing like that, I did get up, I went up ranks and stuff like that, and I was literally beating pros within like 6 months to 9 months or so. But
Hmm.
the problem is like because I had that instilled in me from the start, like I
Hmm.
never changed up. Like there was years and years to change up, but I just never changed up because it's gotten me that high already. That's the point,
Yeah.
right? Like you get incentivized for playing like teamwork, and then it's like your brain instills, okay, so if I play like a team player, or I play like very I would
Hmm.
call it safe or cautious when you're talking about high level. Like then you're gonna go up ranks, which thus makes it to where it's like, oh, this is rewarding, this is good. But
Hmm.
like the truth is like again, just being high ranks, like I think eventually it's gonna hurt you because like you're in a, you're like, let's say like GC1 players that don't have mechanics right now, like
Hmm.
you're still in GC1, you've been in GC1 for like 4 seasons or so, but eventually like people are gonna come up and they're just gonna like you're gonna start dropping down in rank because people are like more mechanical and they have the same level of positioning as you because they're in the same rank as you, which means like I think you that casual player that you're referring to, like that's
Hmm.
in GC1 and like through this system would probably get outplayed within like 3 4 seasons, and then he's out of the rank, and that's gonna make him leave. So like long term, it's like I don't know that you kind of incentivize, again, you incentivize um like I don't know, the skill check I like, but then again, like you know how I would like a player that's been taught like that would figure out a way to work around that, and then once he got the skill check done, then he would just go back to playing like as bad as he is. You know what I mean? And just because I can
Yeah.
do the thing one time, doesn't mean, I say I do it. Like what is there a way in which you can you give it to them one time and then you give them it again like some random time like later, that way they're not like repeating it over and over until they do it once and they're like, cool, I'm done with it, yay, I'm gonna go like pass by.
Yeah, I mean, I think like if you like go on like a losing streak or something, like because you everybody fluctuates between ranks. Uh, so as you fluctuate, it's like, oh, well, you got kicked out of bronze two,
Mm,
so you got the MMR to get back in bronze two, but now you need to prove that you're in bronze two again and be able to make single jump saves, you know.
mm,
Or
yeah.
in plat, it's like, okay, you need to be able to aerial and stop a basic ball that's coming top corner at like 40 miles an hour.
Mm. So to answer your question, A-Track, what we're proposing, that's why I started mentioning mechanics and stuff like that, because he's proposing a system that number one, it does skill check you to make sure you have positioning like or sorry, have mechanics for each rank. But what's it called? He wants to involve a system that if you're cutting off your teammates or you're badly positioned and stuff like that, then you'll actually lose elo. Even if you win, like so if you played like a bad teammate and you won the game, then you would get less points. If you played like a bad teammate and lost the game, you would lose even more points than a regular loss. He's saying that like positioning would play a role in how fast people go up, essentially.
Yeah, just for the lower ranks. This is specifically to address the lower ranks. Because once you get up into what should be champs,
Hmm.
by that time you should have developed good game sense and some basic understanding of the game.
Yeah.
And this is just a way to encourage slash teach that basics. But there does need to be a cutoff point where, okay, it goes back to just win-loss ratio.
Hmm. Yeah, and I guess champ. I guess trying to decide if it should be champ or grand champ. I'm trying to think about how many hours like it would take to get to grand champ or champion. Like,
So if the big thing now is like you only have to go up 2 ranks to get to champ because you're starting out in plat. If you're starting out in bronze, that's 4 ranks to get into champ. And so that's where I think if we're making this system this way, that's where I think champ makes the most sense because that's your good casual player, if that
Mhm.
makes sense.
no, I get that, but yeah, with this system, how long do you think that would take? Like 1,000 hours? What are we thinking here? Like 500 to 1,000 for champ?
Yeah, I
It's
would
like
say
if you're a
probably
casual,
somewhere
I'm just
around.
gonna tell you, if you're a casual player, you're not putting in that much time. There's no way. Like, who casually puts 500 to 1,000 hours into a game? I can't think of any game that I put like, even though I used to play Val here and there. I
Mm-hmm.
don't think I have a 500 to 1,000 hours in Val. Like you're talking about like I don't know about casual. I think if you're putting 500 to 1,000 hours within like a year or two, then like that's probably your main game. I would imagine. Like that's not a casual experience.
Well, if you throw it over a course of 2 to 3 years, I mean,
Well,
you'll
no, no,
hit.
no, because
Yeah.
that's still like 2 hours a day almost. Like if it's 2 years and you got 1,000, then like
Mm-hmm.
you're talking about like what, an hour and a half each day. I still think that's for adult.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably your main game.
Yeah.
So it's like
So.
I don't know. Do you have to type in your age? Like I'm not even trolling. Like if
Mm-hmm.
you're a 13-year-old, I know that you have the time. Like most of them are gonna
Mm-hmm.
have the time to put 500 to 1,000 within a year, and it still not be their main game. Whereas if you're talking
Yeah.
about like an adult, I mean, if you're putting in 1,000 hours in the past 2 years, that's probably your main game.
Yeah. And that's the thing is like that's like the more like casual but good player.
Mhm.
So like the casual but average player would be plat and diamond. The problem is they're putting everybody at the start in plat and diamond,
Mhm.
and they're skipping those first 3 ranks altogether.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think people should be put in bronze. Like I 100% agree with that. People should be put in bronze. Um,
Yeah.
I
So
yeah,
here's
I think you just
yeah.
reset all of that. Like from Diamond 1 down, you just reset everyone.
I would say champ and below, like champ 2 and below. I would reset everybody.
Ooh, see, I
So,
don't know. I feel
so
like
this
there's too
is
big of a
yeah.
difference between Champ 2 and like Platinum 2 or Platinum 3, but I could be wrong.
As somebody who coaches a lot of these ranks, there's not.
Who's not? Okay.
Uh, the reason I say that is because there are people. To put it this way, last season I got up.
HX7.
Yeah, last season I got up. I'm one of those casual player adults. So like I hit champ 1 for the first time. Hit it in about like 800 hours
Mm-hmm.
over the course of 4 or 5 years. Uh, and hit champ 1, and then I got teammates who were legitimately like it looked like they had just picked up the game. Uh, and I
Afro, he's
went
talking about
all the
you.
way down to plat 2
Mm-hmm.
from teammates throwing, and it's the skill different. The I wouldn't necessarily say like the skill difference. Like once you get down that low, like you start to notice things. But because everybody has been grouped together at that 600 MMR rank, and people get carried and fluctuated out, like you're basically just like 1 or 2 standard deviations away from an average player, if that makes sense.
Well,
So
A-Track, then you
all
agree
of
with
that's
his idea.
grouped together and it's not sorted out properly. And so this is where things get really complicated because there are people in champ that should be in champ. there are people that are in diamond that should be in diamond, but there's also people in diamond that should be in silver too.
Mm-hmm.
And so how do you undo the mess that Epic Games created when they raised the base MMR to 600M and
Yeah.
then essentially abandoned bronze through gold? That's the complicated issue, and that's where I think the skill checks would help sort that issue out.
Yeah. No, yeah, I'm looking at the fact that like yeah, Diamond has almost 2 million players in it basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like if I was having to I agree. Yeah, that's actually insane that Diamond has 10+% in each Diamond rank and Silver has not even a percent. Like
Yeah.
yeah, that
Like
definitely should be
look at the 1v1
addressed.
distribution. I think that one I'm pulling it up too. Distribution. Yeah, so the ranked 1 distribution.
Mhm.
So you can see between gold 2 and platinum 3,
Mhm.
there's basically 50% of the player base.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'm diamond 1 in ones, and that's top 12% in the world.
Oh my god. I think there's just a ton of
That's
unranked players though. You're talking about like what 14% on unranked basically. Like I
yeah.
think that's also changed by
That's yeah.
unranked. I would imagine some of those unranked are definitely
Mhm.
in a higher rank too.
Yeah.
But
So this leads me to kind of my other thing is there needs to be some sort of global MMR system between the ranks to a certain degree. So, because like I said, I'm in Diamond 1, so I'm technically like in that top 10% ish rank. But I regularly run across people that have GC tags
mhm.
and SSL tags from
Yeah.
other game modes.
Yeah.
And so
Now they're
you
boosted.
put, yeah, so they're either A, boosted, 2, just really bad at ones,
Mm-hmm.
but also,
No, well they're really bad at ones. That's why they're
yeah,
boosted in my mind.
yeah. So, but also, like, if you grinded 2s and, like, you're a champ or, like, champ 2 and 2s, like, at that point, you're pretty good. That's, like, where the significant drop off is. But if you haven't played 1s, you're literally being put in with people who have just downloaded the game.
Mm-hmm.
So that ruins that player experience, and I think that's probably why a lot of people don't play 1s. On top of it's already just a tilting game mode to begin with.
Yeah.
Like I self-admit I'm not great at the game. Like really smart in the game, but I'm not mechanical by any means.
Mm-hmm.
But I get accused of smurfing all the time for like a basic air dribble.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, why are you thinking there's like, I just downloaded this game. Why are you air dribbling on me? And it's like, you should
Wait,
be
so you
asking
saying people
Psionics.
get put into plat and diamond even in ones?
Yes, it
Oh
is
my
600
god.
MMR
Okay, that's terrible.
across. Yeah, yeah. So because there's no difference between, like, because there's nothing that adjusts your rank in other modes, you can grind and become SSL in 1s, never touch 3s, and then you go and play 3s, and you're starting in a plat 1 lobby.
Hmm. That's
And
actually insane.
so while I don't think it should be one rank for all modes, there needs to be some sort of weighting system that goes across the ranks. Like I think like if you hit like champion in like 3s, you should be diamond 1 and 2s and 1s automatically. Or if you
That's
hit
fair. Yeah. No, that's fair.
you know, just one rank below.
Yeah, I think if you're SSL in a game mode, you should be put in the GC1 and the other two.
Yeah, it's even worse when it comes to extra modes.
Extra modes are bad, not for sure.
Yeah. So, because like again, if you just never play extra modes and you're like, oh, I'm gonna finally play hoops after hitting Grand Champ, and it's like, well, there's also this guy that just downloaded the game and thought basketball was cool, so he went into that mode for the first time.
Ooh.
He's getting paired up with a Grand Champ 3, and then you have some casual players that are having fun, and they're okay-ish at the game, and they're like Diamond Champ level, and they're all put in the same lobby as Gold 3.
Mm.
How does that make sense?
Yeah. No, it does.
So I think that's the other big thing that's wrong with the system, is that there isn't something that separates out the ranks and takes into account what you've done in other modes,
Mhm.
on top of everything being heavily concentrated from that inflated MMR at the beginning.
So wait, how would it so hold on. Okay, so how would it work if, say, me and my cousin, this is all hypothetical, right?
Yeah.
Trust me. What if me and my cousin are playing threes with my other cousin, which is complete trash,
Mhm.
and he's in like plat 1, and we get
Mhm.
him to plat 2, right?
Mhm.
Could
He
we
has to
still
pass
play? Could we still play with him and win? It just wouldn't affect his MMR, or
Yeah, it's just like once you hit that skill check, like you have
okay.
to pass that skill check to progress. So
Mhm.
you guys can still queue up together and play together, but also just that's just kind of like a weird position where you would have to do something to where it's kind of hard to do that to other teams.
That's what
Like
I was
to
thinking.
fairly,
Exactly.
yeah.
It's like say I made a bronze 1 account and oh, I can't pass the skill check. I guess I'm
Mhm.
staying in bronze 1 so I can help you go up to SSL. Like it's
Yeah.
like
So
yeah.
that's the inverse of the problem is smurfing.
Mhm.
And I think that point, like I think there needs to be a report smurfing,
I
and
think
I
your
think
tutorial idea was pretty good though. I think that would deter people. The story mode
yeah,
idea that would deter people from smurfing.
yeah. So that's we can segue into that.
Yeah.
But I think there should be like a report smurfing button that's specific, like, hey, this person is obviously smurfing, and if that person gets reported enough, I think like the the replay files aren't large files. So I think if a person is getting reported for smurfing for like a significant portion of his games, then it would be very easy for somebody at Psyonix to do a manual review and be like, oh, yeah, that guy's doing air dribble double flip resets in plat. He's definitely a smurf and should not be there. And have some sort of action taken against him.
No, no, no. This is the first one I gotta disagree.
Mhm.
Don't like this idea, man. This is a bad precedent that you're trying to set here. Wait, no dev wants to do hundreds of thousands of manual reviews. Well,
Mhm.
no, McSaucin. Here's my idea to further that one.
Mhm.
There should be the Overwatch system in Rocket League. That CS:GO does. There should be the Overwatch system. Now if you don't know what the Overwatch system is, chat. The Overwatch system is essentially where when people get reported for hacking in the game, instead of making the devs watch every single hacking case in CS:GO, if you're a certain rank, I think it's like DMG or something, I forget, or is it MG1?
Mhm.
MG1 doesn't matter. But if you're a certain rank in CS:GO, then you can actually like watch these Overwatch cases. And number one, it's good for content. I think
Mhm.
it'd be really good for content creators. And also I think it was like XP rewards or something. You get like something for it. Maybe if you watch like 100 of them, you get an Overwatch watcher, who
Mhm.
watches the watcher title. I don't know, like some kind of title for it or something. That way you can actually you could be really quick on smurfing, like getting around to watching those accounts.
Mhm.
Uh, and yeah, I think that's a really good idea. Overwatch system would definitely. be the system that you incorporate if you're going to start cracking down on smurfing.
Yeah, I think, like I said, I'm not sure exactly how the system should work or even what the penalty for smurfing should be. Uh, so that's something that I definitely haven't figured out the
Well,
best way to handle.
Cas is fine. That's casual. We don't ban people
Yeah,
for casual. We're just talking
yeah,
about ranked
casual
here.
as a whole. Yeah,
Yeah,
we're just talking about ranked because that's where all the rewards and that's where
people
things are
care.
actually
People
at stake.
care.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, to talk about the story mode.
What about comp freestyling? Well, yeah, they should get banned. Like, I'm just gonna keep it real. They should get banned. Like what?
Yeah, like if you're creating a smurfing account to go and
Well, then you should get banned.
yeah, yeah, it's like if you are trying to freestyle and you're just mad that you can't do it at your rank, it's like get better at freestyling. You know, like going in and playing against people that have literally just installed the game is
Diminishing your rank in
yeah,
any way, 8-track, that means you threw somebody's rank most likely to get there too.
yeah,
But like to the guy that said it's his main or whatever, like that means you probably threw somebody's rank to get down that way.
yeah,
But nah, I think diminishing your rank like purposefully should also get you banned.
yeah,
And for throwing. I mean if you want to say that, you can count them for throwing. To count up the elo decay thing, that's fine, but why would, like, if you're in GC1 and you haven't played in a couple seasons, why would anyone suspect you to be smurfing if you're in Champ 1? You're gonna be rusty. Like,
yeah.
so I don't think that should come into play, because, in truth be told, you're probably gonna be rusty. Like, so that
Yeah,
means
you're
you're
gonna
not gonna
be
be.
at champ 1 level for until you shake the rust off. You know?
Yeah, and again, like with the skill checks idea, like Champ 1 wouldn't be that far off from GC1. That's the point. Is like that it wouldn't be that bad. Like it's not gonna be, the difference between GC1 and Champ 1 is not going to be to where a GC1 can just absolutely slap up Champ 1 lobbies without even trying. Like
Yeah,
that's the
like
point.
yeah, like a different like champ 1 can do everything a grand champ can do for the most part. It's just the grand champs are way more consistent at
And
it.
again, that'll be the thing that disappears
Yeah,
if you don't play the game for a couple.
yeah, it's consistency.
Is it though? Well, no. With this system,
Mhm.
Mexausen, so you've come into the mix too late, my guy. Basically, we're incorporating, or JC Hammer is saying that like there should be a skill check system to diminish people's ranks, as in stop people from being in diamond and platinum, like the inflated elos, and that everyone basically with this thing you should see an actual progression, uh, like up to where when you're in champ, you genuinely deserve champion instead of like getting there because you beat people in platinum and diamond that had probably just started the game up with 100 hours. Like that's the point. So with the system in mind, champ 1 and GC1's difference wouldn't be as big. But like that's kind of the point. We're trying to say, like, if the ranks were done better, like as in like, again, the whole idea that psionics can put you in diamond 1 pretty much instantly, then it's like, people are gonna be champ 1 with 500 hours in the game, like, and then people in GC plus are probably have 1,000 plus, like, but with this in mind, you would hope that there wouldn't be as big of a gap and a difference. But
Yeah, it's
so
about
rank
trying to
wipe, yeah,
constant.
rank wipe
Yeah,
to everyone that's like champ 2 and below, yeah.
yeah.
500? I don't think so. What is it? What's starting elo?
The base MMR is 600. If you start a new account and install Bacchus mod, play your first game, and you'll see that you'll have 600 MMR.
Mhm. Okay, but didn't you say it was like plat 2 or plat 3? People will probably get into if they win about 50%.
Yeah, if they go 50-50, so that's if you win your first game, you gain like 20 MMR, and then if you win your next game, you keep that gaining 20. So, but as soon as you lose like 18 MMR, and then for the rest of your placements, you gain 16 until you lose again, and then it eventually cuts down to like 9 and evens out.
Mm-hmm.
So
Even
that's
the
why when
games
you see people that yeah,
after the 10, yeah, are pretty.
yeah. So as long as you keep winning, you keep that MMR boost. So literally losing your first game because somebody threw, or losing your first 2 games because you got paired up with somebody who threw, you'll literally be like a rank and a half lower, even though you win the next 8 games,
Mhm.
as if you had won all those games first and then lost the last 2.
But again, the idea is if you start in Plat 1, you're going to be playing people that also started the game, which means your likelihood of winning could be a lot because of who
Yeah,
you're playing against. Like,
this is the main issue that when they did this, they didn't adjust anybody that came from Steam and already had worked their way up to Plat or Diamond.
mhm. Which means
So
they
people,
skyrocketed as well. Like,
yeah, they
yeah.
skyrocketed or they got tanked by being paired up with new players.
Mhm.
And so it just creates this. I think that's where a lot of the toxicity comes from, uh, on top of everything else that's going on with the game.
Yeah.
Is because if you like the skill difference wise is almost as much as like putting a grand champ in with a plat from back in before free to play. Like that is how much of skill difference there is within one rank.
Mhm.
And I'm saying this as somebody who coaches a lot. I'm a community coach in Spook Luke's Discord, so I see a lot of replays of these ranks.
You're bad,
And
kid. You're bad.
yeah, and so it's I don't necessarily say this to them directly. Be like, no, you should be in silver too. But I'm definitely thinking it during some of these replays.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
like,
just yeah. The whole point is like, what is silver 2? Like, and what
yeah,
is bronze 2 anymore? Like,
yeah, they don't exist anymore, and so.
yeah.
Uh, but no, let's jump into this campaign mode idea since
Mm.
we were talking about smurfing and such. So my idea to counteract smurfing, or at least make it much more annoying to smurf, is to hide everything but ranked 1v1s behind a campaign mode that takes 15 to 20 hours to complete. That teaches you the basics of rotations through mini games, and you have like a miniature season where maybe like we bring in like the famous content creators to be coaches for these teams, and like
Mhm.
they're coaching you on how to do certain things, uh like hitting the ball, like half volleys, like half flips, like
Mhm.
the bare basics of mechanics. How to do a basic aerial, how to do a fast aerial, like the core things that you could learn in 20 to 30 hours of playing during this campaign mode, while also playing with bots that are kind of like the AI bot Bumblebee.
Mhm.
So like not super hard, but not bots that just chase the ball like the Psionics All-Star bots.
Yeah.
Uh, Especially since that code's already written and can run inside the game.
You're an all-star bot 8-track. Terrible. No, I
so
think
I think,
yeah, I agree. I agree.
yeah, so I think something like that. So it's like you're giving people something that's one fun and engaging to play.
Yeah, because
That's
there's a lot
teaching
of
them
content
how
you
to
can fit
play.
in 10 to 20 hours probably. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Cars,
yeah,
hitboxes, like all that. Yeah.
yeah, and so it doesn't need to be a super in-depth like 5-hour series on how you play second man in every situation, but just like, hey, here's the basic idea of rotation. Here's the basic positioning that you can play that's kind of safe at the start, uh, and just kind of keeps that distance so players can have time to read the play, and not be so close that it's just flying over their heads.
Mhm.
So that way, when they get into ranked, everybody has an idea of what they're supposed to be doing. And then also, if you make it 20 hours long, every time you want to play a Smurf account, you've got to slog through a 20-hour campaign where you're going through the bare basics.
Yeah. Well, I
So
think
that'll help discourage Smurfing as
yeah,
well.
I would love a system where like you get content creators for like the fun stuff and then out of
Mhm,
nowhere it's like, "Hey, I'm Turbo Boza.
mhm.
Today we're going to be learning how to win a world championship." Oh, crap. Okay. Pay attention.
Yeah.
No, but
You know?
like they guys like yeah, it's like a turbo pulse a bit. Today we're gonna learn how to win a world championship. Nah, I'm just kidding with you. Anyway, today like I want some half and half. I want some content creators for like the silly stuff, maybe even talking about
Yeah.
items and stuff like that, because that would be helpful to Psionics
Hmm.
to get people started early. There's cool items in this video game. Use my
Hmm.
code, but and then they have to like cut them off. There's a lot of banter you can do with the
Yeah.
script and fit 15 to 20 hours. I agree.
Yeah. It's just like, especially if there's like a campaign mode. Like, imagine like you have
Just
like Sunless
propaganda
Khan
for
and
20
like you
minutes.
have Sunless Khan and Musty being like the two teams that you could pick
Hmm.
to be on their team, and it's like you have them doing like IRL banter and like
Hmm. Yeah,
there's
gets
so
them
much that
involved in the world. Well, it gets them involved in the
yeah,
world, and then
it's like,
yeah,
hey, it's like, I see you have a new academy team, Musty. It's like, I see you have a new academy team. And it's like we do this thing where they're at LAN, and
ooh yeah.
like there's like a whole skit, so like you can promote
Hmm.
RLCS
Oh yeah, you can
to the
promote a lot.
player
Yeah,
in the game and be just like, well, your pro team may have won Musty, but my academy team is going to beat yours. It's like,
yeah,
you could have this banter and introduce everybody to the culture of Rocket League as well as how to play the game at a basic level,
yeah. It's propaganda. We can do Rocket League propaganda for like 10 hours, and then actual gameplay for like another 10.
Yeah, and
Uh,
you can splice it up in between. And it's like, imagine Musty being like, hey, you just scored that goal. Make sure you spam what a save so they know that they're bad.
Yeah, but
You could do funny things like
McSaucin,
that.
the truth is, these casual players, right? They don't want to get smurfed on. Like, like these casual players, they'll leave just as fast getting smurfed on that long. So like this, if you make it a very apparent that this is the system that helps you play the game, but also is really disencouraging smurfing, then like they'd be fine with that, I think. But like no one wants to get smurfed on. Like,
Hmm.
uh, I don't think so. I don't think so, dude. I don't think so, man. I think if they know what Rocket League's about and everything, and their friends are really, because let's be honest, like some people get really fanatic about Rocket League. Like
Yeah.
if you have one or two of your friends that are like, nah, just trust me, play through the like you we gotta play this game. You're gonna do it. You're gonna do
Yeah.
it. Like I don't think. Look, people gave freaking New World 100 hours of their time. Okay, how long has
Hmm.
New World been up? Like, how long are you gonna go play New World? Like, people gave New World like a freaking 2 weeks of their life. Like, I never did, because I knew exactly what was gonna happen in New World is like the video game equivalent of a rug pull. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, what, like, where
That's
does your
straight
time go,
facts.
dude? Like, so no, I don't think like for a game like Rocket League that's been around and it's got the legacy for that's been around for like 5 to 7 years, you're gonna sit through 20 hours to play it legitimately, I think.
Yeah. Especially if you make it fun and engaging and make it to where you aren't searching up YouTube tutorials on like
Yeah, but how many games
basic
do you get
things.
smurfed
Yeah.
on? McSaucin,
Yeah.
that's free to play.
Hmm.
Like that's a serious problem in every single game. That's what people get upset about in every single free to play game. Like that's the problem with free to play games. Like seriously, in general, that is the biggest problem. Like you're trying to adjust, like that's the issue with free to play games. That's why like I can't get into Val. That's why a lot of people can't. Like there's a lot of people in Val. Guess what? There's a lot of people in Rocket League already. Like
Hmm.
so like why not? I mean, why not do this for everyone else? Like if you're not in Val already, I don't see you going to Val now. Like so why not change up the system? I think it's the same way for Rocket League. If you're not in Rocket League right now, what's the incentive to be in Rocket League now? Like realistically. So why not change something up? Because who's coming to Rocket League? What's the new player base looking like? Like I don't think we got a new player base.
Yeah,
Val
we've been
ranking
going
system
down.
isn't broken though, but it's just like any other free to play ranking system. Like which means
If you look
it's
at the
broke with
numbers,
Smurfs.
I mean, Rocket League's going back to pre-free to play
Yeah.
levels.
Mhm.
Like the esport is the only thing keeping it alive right now. Like I'm on the esports side of it, and that's the only thing that keeps me really engaged with the game.
Yeah.
And it's
What's
like,
what's happened to Well, look at what's happened to freaking CS:GO's ranking system. Like, you know how many people are in like silver and gold? Like, silver and gold's got to be what, 70% of the player base, at least. Like, will only make these numbers worse. The numbers are non-existent right now. McSauce, the numbers are legitimately new players coming into Rocket League's got to be non-existent. Like, I can't picture it's 1,000 plus a day. There's no way. I don't believe that. Like you think it's 1,000 plus people every day? I
So
think
how many of
again,
them are
this is
sticking around too?
that's the point. Yeah, that's
What's
also the point.
conversion
Is
rate on
like,
that?
yeah, you don't want people that get the game and they only play it for like freaking 10 hours. That isn't a legitimate person. Like, you're looking for people like, I mean, look at like you're looking for people that are GC and above, really, that play the
Mhm.
game a lot. And if you're like, then you know they're in the program. Like if they played the game for 15 to 20 hours for this thing, then you know that like you've probably got them for a pretty long time. Like, but if they're not
I
willing
mean,
to sit through that,
too.
then they're not probably willing to play this game that much anyway. Like,
Yeah, and especially with the skill difference in Rocket League and how much there is to learn and get good at because there are no transferable skills into this game. Like maybe Trackmania, but that's a game that's mainly for a hardcore speedrunner community. Uh, like that's the big thing that Rocket League
no, they're
doesn't.
looking for more players like this. I'm saying they're looking for more players like these people.
Mhm.
Like they love SSL to GC1 because they play the game consistently. Like, if you would wish that more of your percentage would play the game more likely. Which, and like, again, I get, this isn't hurting people that are already in the game. It's just giving you stronger numbers. Like, it's giving you stronger like, you're okay with this system. Instead of 800 people coming into the game, you probably only have 400 people coming into the game, legit, every day. But would you rather have 800 people that play the game like for 20 hours and go or would you rather have like 400 people play the game for like 100 hours plus, like, over? I mean, I don't know, it seems pretty easy to me. Like, if you, and also those are the people going to give you money. Like, if the person only plays 1 hour every week or so, they're not gonna buy your items and stuff like that. Like, what's the point? Like, they're playing the game casually. Like, they're not gonna buy your cosmetics.
Yeah, I mean
Your
it's a retention tool as well
Yeah, it's a retention. It's
because
seriously
it puts
retention.
people into the game and gets them invested in the community if they do the campaign mode right.
Again, if we were skyrocketing with new players, it wouldn't make any sense. I agree, but the truth is, like, we're not. The truth is, we're not. So it doesn't make any sense. 1 hour every week at 20 hours would take 20 weeks for them to be able to show off those cosmetics. Like, but that's what I'm
They could still
saying.
jump in
No,
casual and
no, no,
1v1.
no.
It's
But
to get into ranked 2s and 3s, that's what you have to complete campaign mode to get to.
yeah, I was gonna say you can play ones, but maybe extra mode. Maybe include extra modes in there. I mean,
Yeah, like extra
like,
modes, like casual, the non quote unquote competitive modes.
yeah, you can still play casual. You can still play ranked ones. Yeah,
Yeah,
and like all of those things. Like, you can still play all those things. But what if they only have an hour a week? Well, those aren't the people that Rocket League's looking for, I don't think.
yeah.
Like,
People that are playing an hour a week aren't spending money on Rocket League.
that's what I'm saying. I don't think Rocket League's looking for people like that.
Yeah,
Truth be
no
told,
game
that's
is.
awesome. Hey, that's awesome. Like, we like people that play 1 hour, but like, if you're telling me what's their main demographic, it can't be people like that.
Yeah,
Can't be.
yeah. Because the thing is like Rocket League's got a mentality. And because you lump everybody
You're gonna have to
together,
re-say all that. You died
uh,
for like 10 seconds. Not like
hold on
everything
one
died.
sec.
Like, your internet, yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. No.
Okay.
Your internet died. It wasn't your mic. Your, like, internet died. Like, your webcam just, like, stopped moving. Yeah, I
Okay.
think you're good now. Like, you're good.
Yeah. So the thing is like this will, if you think about how Rocket League talks about what is a good player, it's like even at SSL, people are like, nah, he's not a good player. It's like we kind of have like this mentality of if you're not a pro who's on a top 4 team and you're not like the anchor of the team, like then you're not a good player. And part of that's because everything's so concentrated. So you can't have fun most of the time getting completely destroyed because you're in a rank with people that should be in Champ 1 as well as people who should be in bronze. And that's plat and diamond for you, which is where a majority of the player base is put because the sorting system is so bad.
A majority of this player base that comes into Rocket League is competitive because it's a sports game. Like,
Yeah. So
like you're
we're
looking for
capturing the
competitive.
yeah, you'll capture the competitive people, but you're not going to capture the casual people. And the casual people is where you're going to make your money. Because the competitive people, they're going to stick around and like maybe be the anchor for it, but you still need a revolving bunch of people that play this casually. And right now, with the way things are, like you cannot play Rocket League casually for the most part without either ruining someone's day because you're throwing their games and then getting carried the next game on average because it's a 50-50 split of who you get. So everybody's staying around that level. And like I said, it just kills the enjoyment for people that are trying to get better. And then also
No, no,
kills the enjoyment for the people
McSaucen.
playing it.
I think the 20-hour tutorial can have a ton of cool stuff in it. Like, is in a bunch of cool systems that would be cool to do. Like, as in like
It would be story mode, you know? Like
yeah,
you're
it's not a
picking a
tutorial, it's
team.
a story mode. I was
Yeah.
about to say,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't.
It's a story mode that it's a tutorial disguised as a really good tutorial mode, you know?
A
That's like a
story mode
campaign.
disguised as a really good tutorial. Yeah.
Yeah, like you start off like think like the general idea. Have you ever played NFL Street?
Yeah. We're talking any of the street games are like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so like you start out and it's like, oh, you're gonna play this one guy in a 1v1 and learn like how to move your guy right and left, you know, and maybe jump, you know. And then once you do that, like you're gonna get a coach that teaches you like the basics of, hey, here's how you hit the ball and do a half volley. And so you practice half volleying for a little bit and you're like, oh wow, that's really cool. So I need to time my hits to do that so I can hit the ball hard.
Mm-hmm.
And then that lets you practice shooting and doing stuff like that. And then you learn later on, you're like, okay, well, now I need to know how to save a shot because the opponent's shooting it at me. So, like, you have a tutorial mini game that's like that where you're just jumping, basically like a training pack, but a little bit flashier. So it feels more like a mini game and less like a training pack. And then you eventually graduate up into like a 3v3 thing, and you've got Sunless Khan or Musty as your coach, and they're rivals, and you're playing in this tournament or league. And so some of this story mode is you actually playing matches with semi good bots that know how to rotate, so you can learn how to rotate.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot you can do with this to make it engaging all the way through while progressing their knowledge of Rocket League culture, the game, as well as mechanics.
Because the truth is, you want an audience that not only plays the game but also watches the RLCS broadcasts, also watches Twitch streams. Like you want an audience that does all that. And the truth is, like, this could be a mode that, and again, I call propaganda. I think that's exactly what it is. Like, it's promoting all of these things in a way that's not like super self-aware, or like in a way that's not like in your face.
Yeah.
Where it's like,
The
oh
thing
yeah,
is too is like you could extend this storyline as well and like teach even more advanced mechanics
if they
in the
wanted to,
game.
yeah, if they,
Yeah. Because it's like, okay, cool. It's like, well, you beat us this time. It's just like, but now we're gonna have a freestyling competition, and then now you get like Pulse Clan, you know,
yeah, you can get
versus
anybody.
Nixus, and then like you have that rivalry, and they're teaching you how to do flip resets, or like air dribbles, or like the more advanced things,
You could even
and
do
that
that
could
with
be a
extra
campaign.
modes. Yeah, you could even do
Yeah,
that with extra modes, like hoops. Like you get all the hoops guys, like the really good hoops guys. Like you can
Yeah,
make this
so
a very big community thing.
yeah, and so it's like you do that, you're promoting content creators. There's the story mode itself is going to be free content for every creator. It's going to grow the community, and you can add all these several layers to it, you know. And so like the 20 hours could be the minimum to go in and play ranked 3v3, but you could have 100 200-hour campaign at the end of this, you know, depending on how many uh like sub stories, you know, like hoops or snow day or rumble.
I don't know. I don't know what that is. Like I know
Well,
JoJo's Adventure, but I don't think that was a JoJo reference.
no, it was not, because I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, I know what JoJo's Adventure is, but I have never seen it actually. All I know is some meme.
Oh, is he talking about the thing Rocket Sledge did?
No,
The
no, no.
egg? Or
He's talking about an anime.
oh, okay.
Yeah. He's talking about an anime. Dude, we are out of touch. Like I knew kinda what he was talking about, but like I have never seen it.
Yeah.
Um like no, but I think and even then, especially because I think when you make this 20-hour campaign, if you just started out with a 20-hour campaign, like I'm pretty sure
Mhm.
there'll be content creators and people like that play it, like
Oh
just
yeah.
just to show it off and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So like you build that kind of like this is in the game, this is like
Mhm.
cool, blah blah blah, that kind of exposure to
Yeah.
it.
And then like you can start contracting with these bigger creators that are promoting your game. Or like imagine we pull in a creator that's not a Rocket League person, but
Mhm.
has a big following, like
This is moist critical.
or well, he's already a part of the Rocket League
No,
community.
we're bringing that man in. Get
Mhm.
him in the freaking tutorial.
But
He's
no,
very good.
like somebody at the level of like 5 Up or
Who the heck is that?
Pokimane or uh,
Oh,
he
five up.
he
Wow, I just
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, like think if
I don't
you
know who that is.
like got those guys, or it's like, hey, we want to contract you to help write this campaign mode, and you be like a side character in it.
Hmm.
And then it's like, oh, well, 5Up's in Rocket League, so he's gonna play that campaign mode segment,
Mm,
and now he's promoting Rocket League to all of his viewers.
yeah,
So like the amount of cross branding you could do with, and you could also sell it as DLC for $5.
why not? Yeah,
You know,
this is our
for
sub
all these
stories back.
campaign modes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Um.
there's a lot that you could do from that base campaign that's expands Rocket League for people that maybe don't want to play online or people who can't play online for whatever reason. Like you
Again,
make it
we can
fun
switch
outside.
this to
Yeah.
20 hours of casual too. I just think a 20-hour quota has to be met.
The reason
Like,
I say yeah, the reason I say campaign is it's engaging
yeah.
and it,
I think you have to give them
it's
options though. I think you have to
yeah.
give them options.
Yeah, the only problem I would have with it being casual is you could
They'd
just
break
rubber
it.
band the,
They'd
you
break
could
it.
literally
Yeah.
just
Yeah, that's
you can just
exactly what
put
I
a
was
rubber
thinking too.
band on your controller and just
Yeah.
drive around in circles for 3
100%.
matches, you know.
100%.
Uh, so
That's
that's the
that's what I was thinking
only
too.
yeah. So this is why I would say something like that uh, over just the go play 20 hours. Because the other thing too is it'll
Yeah, because
give
I would
everybody a
like boosters
baseline.
would find a way to break that. I guarantee
Oh
you.
yeah.
Like if we're trying to get money, if we're trying to make money. Oh, I mean, if they're trying
Hmm.
to make money, then then if
Well,
they
at that
if they're trying to
Well, here's the thing. If they're trying to make money, you now have to trust them with your account because they have to get on your account and pass those skill checks for you.
Mhm.
So it ups that risk even more.
Yeah.
So,
No, yeah, no, I mean that's great. That's great. Not a big I mean, look, I won't advocate for boosting, but at the same time, but
when you make it this easy to do.
no, no, no. I just think the truth is there's not enough money in RL as of right now for
Mhm.
everyone. And there's I've talked about it with like the, it's like this it's like a very good example of like the US economy right now, which is like there's a shrinking middle class. Whereas essentially there's a shrinking middle class in Rocket League. There's people that are making tons of money, way more than livable, and then there's people making literally nothing, basically.
Yeah.
And so I think boosting is a way to get another group of people like enough money. If there's money from the people, like if there's money from the people in this game, like I feel like that wealth should be given to
Hmm.
people that have played this game enough to get to that point.
Yeah.
Like if they want to. Just because I'm like, you know, dude, there's competitive players that make $50 a month. Like
Hmm.
there's really good players that make like nothing basically, and it's like that's really unfortunate. So I feel like, in a way, boosting is a so you can get some pocket change, some spending money, especially for people that are under 18. Like I don't know,
Hmm.
I think it's fine. I just think yeah, it is really rampant. It should be done better, but yeah, I think I don't know. Josh Kaufman says it takes up to 20 hours to learn something new. Well, there you go. All right. I made like 40 something from Rocket League. Yeah, no, it's
Hmm.
like look at even me. Like I'm making like 300 or something, like 400, maybe 500 a month from RL. It's like but like look at somebody that's like about 3 times my size or something. They're probably making 2,000 plus. Like it's really weird. Like there's a very big difference in how much money's being made. Like I mean, you're talking about somebody that's been in the top like 50 fastest growing Twitch channels at one point or another, and yet like my money that I'm making every month is like freaking 1/20th of some of these people's money every month, like that are in the same ballpark, which is crazy. So I feel like I remember talking about it with Bass from the past. It's like there is definitely an issue of people making like loads of money and then people making basically none in RL, and there's like a very small difference between them. Uh
Yeah. There
yeah.
definitely needs to, if the game wants to grow, there needs to become like a middle class within Rocket League.
Yeah, the truth is people are rich or they're not making livable money. Like I don't think there's a
Yeah.
lot of people that are in that like yeah, I'm kind of making a living and somewhat making a living. It's like nah, you're either like balling
You're
or
either,
like you're
yeah,
not.
you're either all in, you're a starving artist for a year or two,
Hmm.
or you get really lucky at the beginning, or you're really good at the game and then also really good at marketing and developing a brand.
Yeah. I'm worried that I got into late. I always talk about this. Like I'm worried that I got into late because my internet was always freaking atrocious. I could have made YouTube videos. That's the only thing I will say. Like I could have made YouTube videos before. But like as
Oh
far
yeah,
as
this
streaming
is
goes, like dude, I was freaking dead. Like I would try a 1200 bitrate stream at like 480p, and it would still my game would still not be playable. Like but now I've got it, and I'm just like worried totally. If I could have had it like 5 years ago, I would have been freaking crazy because I was still just as good as I am now like 5 years ago.
yeah.
I get worried about that. But yeah. 100 ping on your own servers. Wait, and then there are people like I don't know Z Speed, and he's not the best player, but he's known.
Yeah,
Wait, oh, you're
they're
saying,
better at
oh, yeah,
marketing.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. They're
Mm,
just better at marketing. And when you're talking about business, marketing matters more than anything else. Especially when you live in the attention economy, which is what streaming and
yeah,
content creation is.
yeah. I think, I think,
Esports exists to gather eyes so they can sell to advertisers.
yeah. I was gonna say, I
That's
like,
literally it.
I think a big portion of like people that are SSL, that are getting viewers, a big portion of that is honestly mechanical skill, something that's very showable that to somebody that's newer, that's like, oh, this guy is really like really good.
Yeah.
I really do think I appeal to like right around the middle class, like champ, like Diamond 3 to like GC1 probably, or GC2, that are like, oh my god, like I know what he's doing. I can tell what he's doing, but it's not like that complicated, but he's still crazy good. Like that means I can do that. I think I appeal to that. And maybe this low percentage of like SSL players that have a lot of mechanics but are still like losing games and just like, what is he doing where he can win more games than me? Like I don't get it. I think that's like basically the only like competitive people I can appeal to,
Hmm.
which is exactly why I don't. try to appeal competitively because like it just doesn't make any sense for someone that is really good but doesn't have any mechanics and isn't an RLCS player. Like if you're Turbo Polza
Mhm.
and you have no mechanics, like that's impressive because of how much he's done. But in reality, I haven't done an RLCS like Flakes or like Turbo, anyone else that's known for not having any like mechanics, but they've done way more with it. It's like when you don't have that reputation and you have no mechanics, like you have nothing. You have nothing. I don't think. I really don't think you do. And you really do have to be SSL plus to get like any attention at all. Like look at McLando. I really do believe that McLando's biggest problem is the fact that he's GC2/GC3, which is really sad. Like it's really really sad because he's been doing it for 5 years or more, and he still has stayed at like 50 average viewers for 5 years. It's
Yeah,
really
like
upsetting.
you either have to be really good at the game, really entertaining,
Mhm.
and really lucky. So you have to have two of those three.
Yeah.
So if you're not really good at the game, you've got to be really entertaining and or really lucky.
Hmm.
So if you can grind out and kind of make a name for yourself like as a coach like he has. And so like he has friends in the community that supports him. But if you look at the entertainment value compared to the next tier up of
I'm sorry. Who?
streamers,
Sorry. Who? Z Speed.
uh, just like people like McLando
Oh my
or
bad. My bad. Yeah. Yeah,
Ranny or
mhm.
like these guys, Ranny's my friend and all that stuff. And like his thing is mechanics and stuff like that. So like that's what draws people in and like that's
Interesting.
entertaining.
What?
But but if
Yeah.
you look at him compared to like the extravagance
Arsenal.
of yeah, Arsenal. Like
That's good.
Arsenal, he is an entertainer at
Yes.
heart and he's good at the game.
Hmm.
And he's also lucky because he's on SSG. Not in the sense that he shouldn't be there, but just because he's on SSG,
Hmm.
he now has that
Oh
luck
yeah, that's a
factor of
huge.
being
No,
in
well,
the
that's a huge.
RLCS.
Yeah.
That's a
Hmm.
huge, yeah.
That's
So
a huge
that's
deal.
the luck. So he had all three, and so that's why he's big.
Yeah. He knows what's
Same
up
thing.
though. I've
Yeah.
spoken with like he knows exactly what's up. He knows exactly what he has like, and he's
Yeah.
milking it. Dude. He
Oh,
knows what
yeah.
he's got. Like he's
Yeah.
smart about
And
that.
so it's just like that's where you get the difference between the mid tier or like entry level streamers. Like the people that never make it never get one of those things.
Hmm.
The people that make a decent living from it have one of those things and grind it out for a while.
Yeah.
And then you get people that also have that entertainment and skill or have that entertainment and are lucky. And that's when you see that middle class created.
Hmm. No, that's I hope that's where we're headed because it does feel like it feels like as of right now RL is mainly you have a bunch of skill but you have no personality or you have all personality
Personality.
but no skill.
And yeah.
Yeah. No, seriously, yeah, and I think that is yeah, that's where the distinguishable difference
Yeah.
is. I'm gonna be egotistical and say I have both. Uh, like in a way. But I do believe it's really rare to see someone that is really good at the game be so outspoken without coming across as extremely toxic. Like
Yeah.
that's what I think. That's what I think. I have a niche for. It's funny
Hmm.
because Forky, I was playing with Forky, and Forky was like, I
Hmm.
said something in the first 20 seconds of our game. He's like, "What is that?" And I was like, and then I said, I think it was something really stupid because I was trying to troll
Hmm.
Forky. He's like, "What is that?" And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "Bro, aren't you supposed to be like XQC or something? Like, like, aren't you supposed to be like XQC basically, like where you just go on a
Hmm.
freaking vengeance rant about something for like
Yeah.
5 minutes?" I'm like, that is true. And he's like,
Hmm.
but it was funny because he's like, I'm like, dude, you're comparing me to someone that I'm like, I hope you aren't seeing that as an insult, Porky, because that is not an insult that you just compared me to Aiden Ross and XQC. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's what I think he was trying to say. Like, aren't you like Aiden Ross XQC basically? I think he was trying to say like as an insult. And I'm like, that is definitely not an insult. I love
Yeah.
that comparison. It's exactly what it is. Whenever I go, no freaking shot, dude, no freaking shot.
Hmm.
Like,
Yeah. Like honestly, like it, I wish Reynolds would be even more outlandish than he was,
yeah.
and he was a little bit flashier with his mechanics.
Oh yeah. Jesus.
Because then he could be the Conor McGregor of Rocket League,
Hmm.
and that would bring in a
People.
ton of
Yeah.
attention. Like think about when what was it, Garrett and First Killer or going
Oh,
at it
the
on
whole
Twitter.
thing. Yeah.
It's like I remember watching that and being like, oh, I checked Twitter and I was just like, oh, stuff's going down. And I came back to the next game and viewership jumped like 40% from that.
Mhm.
And so, like, we need that personality for Rocket League to
Yeah.
grow, not just the talent.
No, because the talent's already been there. The talent's been on
Yeah.
display for 5, 6, 7 years.
Yeah.
Like, we've done as much as we can do with the talent, honestly.
Yeah. Like, we're starting to hit that skill ceiling.
Yeah, exactly. Like, to where it's just like, yeah, that was impressive, I guess. Like, it's not appealing to casual people anymore. It's just like, I've seen that for years, man. People have been exploding about this skill for a while. Like, yeah, you need like clips to come out that's like, oh, that's freaking hilarious. I think that's what Moist does. I think that's what Moist is gonna do potentially. Yeah.
But no,
Alright.
it's like that. We're breaking off into another topic.
Nah,
we should
I think
do
I'm
another
done
one of
because I
these.
want to see this blood moon, dude.
Yeah.
It's actually about to happen in like the next 10, 15, 20 minutes. So
Yeah. So next time on the PaLe Rider podcast, we have.
I don't know yet. We'll figure it out, dude. I want to
We'll figure it out. Yeah.
Well, I already know what I want to do. I've already talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to. I'm gonna go to Texas land, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna go. I've already got like a bunch of people scheduled for it already. Like Tryhouse and Spuda and Chicago, and Turbo, I think. You got like a bunch of people that I want to sit in my Airbnb and freaking just like ask them questions about their life. I don't want to know nothing about RL, dude. That's the big thing. I don't want to talk about RL with them. Like I want to talk about like what's your favorite freaking. I'm gonna dig up tweets. I'm gonna dig up old tweets. Like a Nardward interview. That's what I'm looking for. Nardward interview.
That'll be fun.
So like in 2017, you said, can you go further into that? Like that's. But I'm worried that unfortunately interviewing pros with that kind of thought in mind, it's gonna wind up being like
super boring.
Yeah, it's gonna wind up being like I don't know, because I think someone said I think
their
someone
personality
said
is their thumbs.
Well, I think someone said did you ever watch the FaZe LAN interview?
Yeah.
Okay, so
it's like that's the most animated like we've seen pros talk, you know.
Oh no, I didn't think so. No, in that freaking FaZe LAN interview that happened, I thought like they asked him about his hobbies and he was like none besides RL, and I was like,
yeah,
Jesus man, I can't work with this. Like what? Like so I'm gonna have to find like I'm gonna find this middle ground where it's like how's your LAN experience going like in the city and stuff like that, and then probably like after about 15-20 minutes of that, then I'm gonna wind up talking about freaking in 2017 you pulled up this, and in 2018 when you lost finals, how did that feel? Like I'm just gonna banter. I want to banter with Chicago. I'm gonna be like, yo, in season 7 where you guys lost the Renault Vitality, right? What was going in the head, and was there definitely a potential to drop Rizzo at that exact moment? Because in my opinion, I think Chicago is a top 5 legacy player in NA.
No, you should walk up to Flakes and be like, so did you name yourself Flakes because that was foreshadowing you flaking on all of your teams?
Jesus. Oh. I know I want to live stream that entire freaking LAN, by the way. Like, that's what I've been playing with this whole time. Is my freaking live stream kit. So I want to I want to go up to people, just walk up to them and just say like a freaking random question and get their opinion on it like instantly on that. Like that way it's just like shock appeal to viewers.
Yeah,
like,
I hope Flakes sees this and like we get some good banter out of it, and he just like completely roast my setup. It would be so much fun.
We'll get banter out of it. We'll get banter.
Oh yeah, we will.
Anyway, all right, peace out, man.
Peace. It was fun talking. Yeah.
Yeah. I know I want to watch this Blood Moon, and then I want to freaking work on this YouTube content. It's gonna evolutionize, rebrand squishy content. I'm telling you right now, it's only about like I'm trying to appeal to squishy fans, people that click on it on the video to think that it's a squishy video, and then it's like, nope, it's me. Alrighty, what's up? They just watch it. They just stick through it. They're like, you know what? This guy is pretty good. Not dead inside. Anyway, peace out, man. I'll catch you. You later. Yeah, peace, man. Okay.